There are people feeling a strange weight on their backs and don't know how to explain it. It's not muscle pain nor ordinary tension. You rest, stretch, try to relax, but the sensation returns. It's as if something were there all the time, invisible but present. And the most confusing part is that no one can give you an answer. The tests show nothing. Others don't understand, but you feel it. This weight, in many cases, doesn't have a physical origin. It comes from the spirit. It is a silent manifestation of something much greater that is being built inside you. It's as if your soul were trying to say, you were called to carry something different. And the body, as a sensitive channel, starts to react even before the mind understands. The chosen ones are the first to feel this kind of signal. This is because the call begins to manifest long before the mission becomes clear. The weight on the shoulders is like an invisible mark of responsibility. As if heaven were saying, you are already being prepared. Even without knowing, you've already begun. And the more you ignore this discomfort, the more it insists. If this has been happening to you, do not ignore it. This discomfort may be exactly what you needed to realize that it's not just physical, it's spiritual. Today, we'll talk about what this weight represents and why so few can identify it as a sign. If this message is already touching you in some way, take the opportunity now to follow the channel and turn on the notification bell. Here we talk about what few see and reveal what many feel but cannot explain. Let's do this together. When the body speaks before the soul understands. There are days when you wake up with a strange weight on your back. You try to ignore it, think it's posture, stress, or fatigue. But deep down, something tells you it's not just physical. The sensation is continuous, subtle, and deep. And even with rest or stretching, it persists. The body is trying to show you something. This discomfort does not appear by accident. When the body speaks before the soul understands, it's because something greater is happening inside. The spirit of the chosen ones begins to move before the mind comprehends. Heaven begins the process from the inside out. And the first place that feels this is the body. This weight you feel may be the beginning of a preparation, as if heaven were molding you for something new. And in this process, your body becomes the first channel of response. Before any word comes, the body already reacts. It senses that something is being built. The chosen ones have this more sharpened sensitivity. Their body is more connected to the spiritual. When there is movement up above, there is a reflection down here. And often, that reflection comes as weight. A quiet but constant discomfort, as if it were a sign that the calling is near. You may not have full clarity about what is being generated inside you, but the body already knows, and it responds with physical sensations, as if it were trying to tell you that it's time to pay attention, because what is coming isn't light. It's serious, it's deep, and it will require resolve. This weight is not punishment. It is communication. It is the way the body tries to say that something is changing in your inner structure. And this isn't common. It's the start of a spiritual alignment that begins with subtle signs. Those who were separated feel it before they understand. Many choose to ignore this warning. They seek physical relief, try to treat it as a common pain. But this sensation doesn't dissolve with medicine. It doesn't improve with massage. Because it didn't come from the physical. It came from the spirit. It's as if your soul is being pushed to a new level. Spiritual preparation moves the deepest layers of the being. And the body, being the visible part of the invisible, is the first to carry the effects of this change. The chosen ones are marked first inside, but it is in the body that these marks begin to appear. The back, specifically, represents responsibility. Carrying something, sustaining something. And when this weight appears, it's a sign that there is something you have already begun to carry, even if you don't yet understand what it is. The mission is being activated, and the body is feeling the start of this calling. It's not a coincidence. It's not imagination. It's a divine process. The signs are subtle, yet real. And those who learn to listen to what the body is saying can move forward with greater clarity on the path of faith. Because heaven always speaks, but it doesn't always use words. The body is a temple. It feels, it records, it responds. When God begins to act in the spirit, the body becomes part of the answer. This weight on the back is just the beginning of something greater being revealed. You are being activated. And this activation begins in the silence of the soul and in the silent cry of the body. The back is memory of the call. There are pains that do not arise from exertion. There are weights that do not come from poor posture. When the back hurts for no physical reason, it is possible that the cause is not outside, but inside. Something deep, ancient, and still unfulfilled. For the chosen ones, this pain may be the body's way of remembering that a call awaits a response. The back has a vital function, to support the body, and spiritually it represents the back as a memory of the call. There are pains that do not arise from effort. There are weights that do not come from poor posture. When the back hurts without a physical explanation, it is possible that the reason is not outside, but inside, something deep, ancient, and still not fulfilled. For the chosen ones, this pain may be the body's way of remembering that there is a call waiting for a response. The back has a vital function. It supports the body. And spiritually, it represents exactly that, support. When heaven delivers a mission, even if you have not yet understood, something inside begins to carry that responsibility. And often, this load does not stay only in the invisible. It becomes a real, physical weight, felt on the back. The chosen ones tend to carry what they do not even know they received. From an early age, they already have inside them a different sensitivity, a constant restlessness. Even without understanding why, they feel that something awaits them. Over time, this unresolved expectation can turn into weight, and the body, as part of the whole, reacts to this spiritual delay. The back pain in these cases is like a whisper from the spirit. It is time. It is not pain from wear and tear. It is a memory of a mission. The body keeps what the spirit is still trying to express, and when the soul takes time to obey, the body feels. It is as if it prepares for a movement that has not yet happened. This weight does not appear in everyone. It tends to arise in those who were marked. Because the chosen ones are not called only to feel, they are called to sustain. And to sustain requires structure. That is why the body begins to prepare long before the sending. And if the call delays, the structure feels that delay. Some describe this sensation as tiredness between the shoulders. Others as a constant tension that does not improve. It isn't always strong, but it is always there. A silent reminder that there is something important pending. Something you need to begin. Something only you can fulfill. This kind of symptom is not resolved with medication. Because what needs healing is not the muscle, but the response that has not yet been given. The body is simply asking you to look inside. Listen more attentively, and recognize. There is a call waiting for your yes. Many times the chosen ones postpone the mission because they think they are not ready. But heaven does not deliver tasks to those who are prepared. It delivers to those who have been separated. And separation has already happened. What remains now is alignment. And while you do not position yourself, the body keeps alerting with this insistent weight. This back pain can intensify on days of silence or during moments of prayer, because in those moments, the spirit becomes more sensitive, and everything that is dormant tries to awaken. You feel as if something is pressing inside. It is not external pressure. It is the spiritual urgency trying to manifest in the body. The mission you carry is not light, but it is yours. And denying this call does not take away the weight. It only transforms it into discomfort. The shoulders were made to bear, but with direction. When there is no direction, the weight becomes pain. But when you choose to align, the weight turns into strength. The back senses before you act. It reacts to what is to come. If this weight has been part of your routine, do not ignore it. Perhaps it isn't a physical problem. Perhaps it is a call knocking at the door of your body. And that door only opens when you decide to walk toward where you have already been sent. You have been chosen, and the signs are there speaking clearly. Your body is saying, the mission is ready. Now it is your turn. The weight that calls to action. There is a moment when the body stops waiting and begins to demand. When heaven has already revealed the call, but the steps have not yet been taken, the body begins to act as an insistent reminder. The weight on the back, the pressure on the shoulders, the sensation of being blocked. All of this becomes a clear warning. It's time to act. You may have received the direction in silence, perhaps during a prayer, in a dream, or even in that moment of clarity that appeared out of nowhere. You felt, understood, but still hesitated. And now, your body is playing the role your courage has not yet assumed. It presses because it recognizes that the mission has already been given. This kind of weight isn't ordinary discomfort. It appears as if something is forcing you to leave your place. Even if it seems like an exaggeration, it isn't. It's a divine alert system. God uses the bodies of the chosen ones to activate movement. When the spirit is ready but the feet do not walk, the body speaks. You may notice the weight increases when you think about the mission but do nothing, or when you see others walking, and within yourself you feel that you should already be on another level. This generates frustration, and this frustration, if not resolved spiritually, becomes physical pain. Your body begins to complain about stagnation. This call to action does not require perfection. It requires obedience. The first step does not have to be grand, just truthful. Heaven does not expect you to know everything. It expects you to say yes, because when your yes happens, the weight changes. It stops being a burden and becomes a force to continue. The body presses because it knows time is fulfilling. The sensation of weight is like an invisible push, telling you, you can't stay still anymore. Inertia begins to hurt. Silence becomes inner conflict. And quietly, you realize, you are being called to begin. Many chosen ones confuse this weight with guilt or anxiety. But that's not it. It's not negative. It's a kind of spiritual urgency. It's as if heaven were blowing in your ear. You already know what to do. Now you just need to start. And until you move, the body will continue signaling. If you've noticed that the discomfort grows on the days you delay what God has already placed on your heart, then know. This pain has direction. It's not there by chance. It's like an internal alarm, asking for action. And this action doesn't start with grand deeds. It starts with small steps. Saying yes to the call does not mean solving everything in a day. It means taking on the commitment. It means rising up and saying, I am available. When this decision is made, something changes in the body. The weight that before pressed now pushes. It gives you momentum. It stops being a burden and becomes fuel. Chosen ones were not made to live by standing still. They carry within them a divine restlessness. And when this restlessness is not answered, the body feels it. The pain is not a punishment, it is direction. And while you delay, your body will continue shouting what your soul has already understood. It's time to walk. If the weight has been constant, if the feeling of stagnation has been frequent, perhaps heaven is waiting for you. You have been activated. You have been separated. But activation is only completed when you begin to move. And the first step is always yours. Your body does not lie. It is asking you to respond to the call. Do not wait any longer. The time is now. The path has already been shown. What remains is your answer. And the weight you feel is only the silent echo of a heaven saying, "Go. I am with you." The invisible spiritual burden that becomes physical. There are pains that do not come from the body. They come from something deeper. Sometimes you feel a weight on your shoulders, a tension in the back, an inexplicable tightness. No position relieves it. No medicine solves it. And no matter how hard you try to relax, the sensation persists. This happens because you are carrying what is not visible, but is real. The chosen ones are sensitive to what the environment carries. Where there is pain, they feel it. Where there is oppression, the body reacts. And the quietest of all, often what you feel is not even yours. Spiritual burdens coming from other people that lodge in your body as a warning, a request for intercession. You may be in a seemingly calm place and still feel your back weight suddenly grow heavy. You may be talking with someone and without realizing it, a distress invades your chest. This is no coincidence. Your body is functioning as a bridge. You are absorbing spiritual burdens so that something may be healed, broken, or liberated. This invisible weight manifests in a physical way. The back locks, the shoulders tense, the neck stiffens. The body tries to warn that there is an excess of energy being absorbed. Not because you sought it, but because your spiritual sensitivity is open. And this requires attention and prayer. People with this gift are usually good listeners. They are always available. They receive confidences, prayers, heavy stories. And even without realizing it, they begin to keep it inside themselves. Not as a memory, but as a weight. The body, then, starts to carry what should have been delivered to the heavens. This gift of silent intercession is powerful, but it needs balance. If you do not learn to unload what you absorb, the body suffers, and the suffering manifests in the back. Because it is there that we often carry what we do not speak, what we hear and guard, what we feel and do not release. It is not weakness to feel this. It is spiritual sensitivity in action. But you must learn to care. You do not need to carry it all alone. When you notice that the weight appeared out of nowhere, stop, pray. Ask God, is this pain mine? Or am I interceding without realizing it? Just that question already changes the atmosphere. Many ignore these signs and think it is just stress. But if it were stress, rest would solve it. And when the body does not improve with rest, it means the burden is something else. It is emotional. It is spiritual. It is baggage heaven wants to take. But you are still holding. Intercessors often suffer in silence. They feel pains that no one understands. They sleep heavy, wake up tired, because they live praying for others, even without knowing. And this weariness needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be surrendered. God did not call you to live oppressed. He called you to be a bridge, and bridges only work if they are sturdy. When the pain settles, return to prayer. Name situations, people that touched you. Surrender to heaven everything that is kept. Say, Lord, this burden is not mine. I intercede, but I surrender. And you will feel relief come, because the body responds when the spirit obeys. You are not weak for feeling, you are strong for bearing. But even strength needs rest. Even those who carry others need to be cared for. If your back has been speaking loudly, perhaps it is time to listen more closely. Perhaps it is time to protect yourself more, pray more, surround yourself more with the presence of God. This weight on the back is a reminder. You are a bridge. But even bridges need maintenance. Take care of yourself. Pray before entering heavy environments. Pray after leaving difficult conversations. Protect yourself spiritually. Because heaven counts on you, but wants you whole, light, and available. When the weight on the back becomes redirecting and grounding. There are moments when the weight on the back does not arise as a movement alert, but as a call to pause. The body freezes, energy falters, motivation fades, and you begin to wonder what is wrong. But nothing is wrong. You are being stopped. God slows you down, not as punishment, but to reposition you. Heaven knows when you are running off course, and to prevent greater detours, it may use the body as a brake. The pressure on the back is like an invisible finger saying, breathe, stop, listen. When your soul is moving too fast to notice the error, your body steps in to help. This pause is not a waste of time. It is care. It is direction. You may see it as weakness, but God sees it as preparation. He knows how much you carry and how much you are trying to do by force. That's why He interrupts, not to shame you, but to realign you with purpose. The pain that makes you stop at times is the salvation that keeps you from continuing down the wrong path. While you blame yourself for stagnation, heaven is redrawing the next steps. The weight comes because something greater is being repositioned inside. And this discomfort is part of the construction. After the pause comes strengthening. God never interrupts without building up. And when He begins to prepare you for something new, He works from the foundation, the part of the body that supports everything, the back. You feel this weight because you are being molded to bear more, to walk with steadiness, not just with haste. The back represents structure. When they hurt for no apparent reason, it may signal that your foundation is being reinforced. You are being adjusted inside. Your spiritual posture is being aligned to bear greater responsibilities. Heaven is making you more stable before releasing you to advance. You may have ignored these signs for a long time. You may have thought it was just stress, poor posture, nights of poor sleep. But now you're beginning to realize that it isn't quite like that. This weight on your back has a deeper root. It carries a spiritual meaning that can no longer be ignored. The chosen ones feel the call even before they understand. And often, the body is the first to notice that something has changed. It does not lie. It responds to the soul. And when the soul is activated, the body also awakens. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, your body is already warning you. Something is being born. This discomfort that appears out of nowhere, this feeling of carrying something invisible, this immobility with no explanation. None of it is ordinary. They are subtle signs of a purpose that begins to move inside you. And the more you resist, the more the body presses, because it's already time to obey. Heaven is calling, not with noise, but with signs. Your body has become the channel between the spiritual and the physical. And it is speaking. It is saying, you were separated. You can no longer live as before. What bothers you now is what will strengthen you tomorrow, if you accept the mission. This weight did not come to wound you. It came to remind you that you are not ordinary, that there is something to be done, that there is a step to be taken. God did not choose your spirit alone. He activated you in full, mind, soul, and body. And everything is lining up, even if it still seems confusing. Perhaps you have felt exhausted in recent days. Perhaps you are living a quiet struggle with no one to share it with. But know, You are not crazy. You are not sick. You are waking up. You are being shaped for something that requires spiritual strength and a solid foundation. And your body is already being trained. The chosen carry more. They feel more. They perceive first. And that can be lonely. But it is also revealing. Because what heaven is doing in you, few will understand. But when the mission begins to manifest, everything will make sense. Every pain, every weight, every alert, all of it was preparation. Now is the time to stop resisting and start listening. Your body is not sabotaging you. It is signaling you. Your discomfort is not a punishment. It is direction. And this direction only becomes clear when you accept that you are separated. When you recognize, this weight I feel has a purpose. Therefore, before trying to erase the symptoms, ask what they are showing you. Before seeking relief, seek listening. The body speaks because heaven has already spoken. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that this pain that bothers you so much is, in fact, a divine invitation to start moving. You are not here by chance. And you are not going through this without reason. Everything has a reason. And now that you recognize the signal, what will you do with it? Will you keep ignoring it? Or will you start walking with purpose? If this word spoke to you, comment below. I feel this weight, but now I understand the reason. Or write, in your own words, what you have been living in your body in recent days. This space here is not just a channel. It's a place of confirmation for those carrying a mission. In the comments, others will also find themselves. And you may be the answer for someone who is still in silence.